Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Vincent Thomas Bridge deck replacement meeting. It's the Community Advisory Committee meeting, the 23rd one. It is July the 23rd and it is 6:05 p.m. Um, so just to clarify, Diana usually is involved in this process. Diana Jimenez, my new colleague, and Diana's not here. It's amazing. But so instead, I'm taking the place of Diana. And so Diana's out of the office today. So before we get started, why don't we just go around and introduce ourselves, and I'll try to unmute everybody so that way you can speak. But let's see who else is there. I think I've already muted some people, so go ahead and introduce yourselves. Rima?
Okay, we start with Caltrans. I'm Rima Teveleva, project manager for Vincent Thomas Bridge deck replacement project from Caltrans. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Roberto Perez. I'm a government affairs, legislative affairs liaison for Caltrans District 7.
Hi, good evening. My name is Nathan Bass. I'm typically in these calls as a public information officer. Right now, I'm acting in a temporary assignment as chief of staff at District 7.
Hi, there it is.
Can you hear me? Okay, sorry. Good evening. I am Sumei Tan. I'm with Caltrans Division of Transportation Safety and Operations. I'm the office chief for mobility programs. Thank you.
Oh, Eric Manuel, Media Relations Manager, Caltrans.
I'm just going to go ahead and read who's here. So we're just going to do that. Tonight we have Alice Tyree, Ray Regalado, and Nina Turner, Nihar Desai, Kekoa, Eric Moran, Brian, Alex Brown, and Art Marukin. Yes, so what we'll do is we'll try to just move on with the presentation and provide updates. And while someone is presenting, I think when Rima presents, I'll try to figure this out and see if we can get everybody unmuted. So let's just go ahead and get started. Let's start off with the agenda. So let me show you our presentation. So for tonight's agenda, just to make a note of the prior CAC meeting on June 25th, it was canceled. That meeting was canceled, and then we'll go over some notes from the July 15th TAC meeting. We'll have an overview on that, and then we'll hear some presentations, hopefully. The project schedule and goods and movement stakeholder meeting recap. We'll also have a discussion about air gap issues and provide an update as well. The TMP subcommittee as well. We'll talk about the project coordination map, and then we'll have a public information update, which I'll bring to you. And then we'll have an open discussion, and then we'll have a CAC meeting options discussion that we want to kind of just bring up to you. And so maybe we'll utilize the chat group, the chat area feature tonight to get through this meeting. And then we'll discuss next meeting as well. So we talked about that just briefly. So
Okay, so please, previous slide. Could you please display the previous slide? Okay. So the technical advisory meeting on July 15, at that meeting, we shared the following presentations: project schedule, goods movement stakeholder meeting recap that included air gap issues, and TMP subcommittee discussion. Also, we, as usual, talk about project coordination map and public information update. Next slide, please. Thank you.
Here we are.
Also, at the technical advisory meeting last week, we discussed the following topics. South Coast Air Quality Management District requested clarification on the purpose of the CCTV cameras installation, and District 15, Axel, responded that the purpose was to allow us to monitor the traffic hotspots and to be able to send appropriate resources there. Also, South Coast Air Quality Management District inquired whether a potential VTB mobile app will be developed by Caltrans or it will be Vincent Thomas Bridge project specific. And Caltrans responded that it would be a project-related application. Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council, Ray, asked who would be responsible for enforcing restrictions on trucks if they use residential streets. District 15, Axel, responded that that would depend on the jurisdiction of that location, and enforcing agency could be the Port of Los Angeles Police, LAPD, to clear up the traffic jam, and LA DOT traffic control officers who will be monitoring or directing traffic on the intersections. Ray also inquired about who will monitor the CCTV cameras in the event of an accident. Axel, District 15, replied that it will depend on the time of the day and depending on what exactly have happened. Caltrans also added that we are in process of establishing the emergency response plan at this time. In addition, Ray requested contact information for the Caltrans emergency response representative for community outreach during closures. And we said that it would be action items for us. Okay, so that's overview of a technical advisory meeting last week. Next slide, please. So the schedule has not changed since our last meeting. Currently, project is in design phase. We are at 95% design right now, and we will complete design in late summer of this year. Construction will start in late winter 25-26 with pre-full closure work, which will be completed in fall of 2026. The full closure will begin in fall of 2026 and end in winter of 27-28. It will last for 16 months. The post-full closure phase will begin in winter of 27-28 and will be completed in winter of 28-29.
So we are at the goods and movement. So there were some issues that were brought up, and I'm just gonna read off of some of the issues that came up at the last meeting, and I think they've been addressed already.
Some of the discussion happened at the last meeting, but some of them been discussed at previous meetings. But you can
So I'll
read
just
from
read
that
these.
slide. Yes.
So
Yes, please.
basically, some of the issues that have been brought up or that have been ongoing is Caltrans confirmed that all construction activities will cause no more than a 2.5 feet temporary reduction in air gap. There will be no permanent reduction in air gap as a result of the project after its completion. Caltrans submitted a project initiation letter to the Coast Guard, including detailed timelines for the construction impact on the air gap. And then other issues that came up at the TMP subcommittee as well. And Kenneth Young, who couldn't make it tonight, kind of left behind some notes. And some of the issues are Caltrans identified 26 intersections where traffic officers could be deployed during the closures. Certain camera feeds should remain private for rail security, while others can be made public to show traffic conditions. The proposal includes two websites, one for internal use and one for the public viewing. A recent Los Angeles City Council motion directs departments to collaborate with Caltrans on installing CCTV cameras. And I just want to kind of provide some notes that Ken Young left behind. He is our traffic management professional on this project. He basically left a note for tonight and said, through engagement with stakeholders, the TCO needs are being solidified and cooperative agreements are in progress to secure these services. CCTV needs have been identified and we are engaging with the Bureau of Street Lighting and the City of Long Beach towards installation. Security concerns were raised at 2 identified locations involving railroads, one on Harry Bridges Boulevard and the other on Henry Ford Avenue. The resolution was to keep the railroad feeds private, away from the public viewership. The expectation is that these cameras will connect via feed through the project website and project app. Concurrently, there are ongoing efforts to enhance existing websites, apps such as Quick Maps and 511 to provide the following features. 1, live CCTV feeds. 2, geotagged push notifications. 3, closure updates, project information. 4, depict VTB detour routes. And 5, depict incidents along the detour route. So those are the notes that he left behind. And here is a map of where all those cameras are going to be located. Can everybody, well, people can't really speak back to me, but I hope that you can see this. But if anybody needs a copy of these maps or just any further information, you can reach out to us and we'll provide that to you. And as you can see, there'll be cameras along the entire route. And they will be managed by 4 agencies, 4 different agencies. It'll be Caltrans, the City of Los Angeles, Port of Los Angeles, and City of Long Beach. And as you can see, they're color coded. The orange ones are City of Los Angeles, the red ones are Caltrans, and the light blue ones are Port of Los Angeles. And there's also a black one that will be managed by the City of Long Beach. And there's a total of 20 cameras. So on this part, it is actually my colleague, Saya May.
Yeah, Sume, yeah, I'll take over. Thank you, Manuel. Next slide, please. So there aren't any changes to the number of projects we are monitoring and tracking for potential conflict. We do have some good news. 2 of the Caltrans projects, I think it's the pink highlighted in pink, I think it's G and N on State Route 103 have been completed. So that's good news. We have 2 less projects to have potential conflict with the BTB project. But other than that, everything else remains similar to the last meeting. And if we have any new updated information from our partners, then we'll certainly update the map and the table in the next meeting. But for now, the only changes is 2 of the Caltrans projects have been completed. Next slide, please. Yeah, so it's the same, it's a map in a larger version, but that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So on the public information update side, our outreach efforts, what we're doing on this project, some of our efforts include press engagement. It includes social media, internet advertising. It includes public meetings, roadway notifications, and public message notifications. Regarding web advertisements, one of our goals is to ensure that we serve primarily the Spanish-speaking residents in the harbor area. These examples will remind the Spanish-speaking community about the closure of the Vincent Thomas Bridge and provide a link to our website, which has English and Spanish resources. Along with that, social media has been a big part in our outreach efforts. We have a VTB social media accounts on Instagram, Twitter X, and Facebook. We use social media to post our press releases regarding upcoming closures. In March, the Vincent Thomas Bridge closed for structural inspection. Thanks to our social media updates and press release, the closure was a success and there were minimal interruptions to our motorists. One of our most recent efforts includes the creation of a sign-up form for residents to register their phone numbers to receive a text, traffic alerts in English or Spanish for the project in real time. And so this QR code will take you to the registration form, but you can also find it on the VTB website. We've had about 1,000 signups, and part of that is thanks to our participation in a recent community event, our monthly newsletter, and our monthly technical and community advisory committee meetings. Now, I do want to say that it can never be enough. I think that if you have any ideas, if you want to send me a message, send me an email, get a hold of Diana, and you have an idea in how we can enhance our outreach, we would be more than happy to do that. If there's a place where we can capitalize on where, perhaps there's a church event where we could have a table at, or maybe perhaps speak somewhere to a large group, we would be open to that. So, we are open-minded about reaching your community. I think that the Department of Public Affairs is doing a great job by making sure that they provide translation and people that are bilingual. I am fully bilingual in Spanish. Diana Jimenez is fully bilingual in Spanish. I know your neighborhoods in San Pedro and Wilmington and all that area. So, public affairs is basically going to be sprucing up and continuing to enhance their outreach efforts in that area as we have been already. And so now this brings us to the open discussion, which I think is going to be just a little bit difficult to complete tonight, simply because I can't unmute everybody. I tried to unmute everybody and it was so difficult. But why don't we do this? Why don't you, if you have maybe a question or you want to make a comment, why don't you use the chat feature and just go ahead and type in a question or a comment, and I'll read them.
So Art's question in the chat is, last week, the Port of LA director mentioned raising the bridge span as part of this project. Where is Caltrans on that? I think I can speak to the fact that the project, the objective of this Vincent Thomas Bridge deck replacement project is to replace the bridge deck after 60 years of service, heavy traffic loading. It is eminently needed as the bridge deck is deteriorating and could lead to safety hazards or unexpected closures of the bridge in the years to come. So Caltrans and the community have all agreed that this project is needed, and that's why we were proceeding with it. The idea of raising the bridge span, I know, is from an engineering standpoint very difficult, especially because the bridge is a suspension bridge. There's examples of other bridges being raised in other parts of the country that are not suspension bridges. Rima, you may have something to say about that. But if Caltrans were to try to raise the span of the bridge, we would need a different project, more funding, sort of a similar process as if we were to want to replace the bridge entirely. We would need a new project, new environmental process, support from the community, and a whole lot of funding.
Yes, thank you, Nathan. So currently we continue with our project. That's our instructions to us from our director, and this is what we do. And idea of raising the bridge is very new, so it will be possibly explored, but it will be different project, future project.
Okay, I don't see any other questions, so we're going to move on to the next item on the agenda, which was to basically have a discussion on CAC meeting options. And so what we want to do is kind of take a poll from you and have you use the chat function. And the question of the poll is, what is your preferred frequency for CAC meetings? Here are the options. Option 1, every month is option 1. Option 2 is once every other month. So if you would select your option, then we'll collect that information and we'll just consider that to see, which direction we'll move in. But we would love to take a poll. Again, option 1 every month or option 2 every other month. Please use the chat function for that. Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll likely also email the CAC people who are signed up and send them an email too, just to ask as well. And again, it's just something to consider. That's all.
Okay, so the next part is action items. Do we have any action items tonight? I know it's kind of difficult, but if anybody has action items that they might want to put in the chat for us to maybe send you an email, or you need more information, go ahead and use the chat function for that, and we'll respond to those action items and we'll collect them.
Manuel, it's Roberto. Just wanted to chime in and say that there are no action items at this point in time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So the next meeting is on Tuesday, August 27th, 2025 at 6 p.m. And here are the project contact information. You have all the different outreach information there that you can utilize. Diana Jimenez is still involved in this project, and highly likely her and I will be working together or for the foreseeable future. And that's basically it. And I just want to thank you for joining us on our 23rd Community Advisory Committee meeting. We will see you next month. Thank you, everybody.